Here's a game design question for you. How do you make a game feel nonlinear? That's kind of a stupid question. The way that you do that is you make the game actually nonlinear. You pull a Fallout New Vegas, make a bunch of different choices, a bunch of branching paths, and you design your game around that concept. But here's a more interesting question. How do you make a game that is linear feel nonlinear?
So how do we take this, a traditional linear story with one real beginning and one real ending, and turn it and make it feel like this? Something that has branching paths and fully fleshed out endings that are completely different for different players. The answer that 999 comes up with is lying to its player. It takes this traditional story, rips it in half, and puts in a bunch of different story points in different branches and makes you wait until you can get to this final ending. It gives you fake choices before you get to this ending.
This is a super sneaky version of the illusion of choice. Instead of a simple dialogue option being changed, you get different puzzles, different interactions with characters, and a lot more. But the end result of your first playthrough will be the same regardless of what choices you make. You're going to get a bad ending that necessitates making the other choice before continuing to make progress. But because it will be hours until this is revealed, it avoids any of the hatred that the illusion of choice typically brings, which is instead replaced by intrigue and a desire to go back and explore the other paths. We're getting a little bit deep in the weeds for the spoiler-free tag at the beginning of the video to stay true, so I'm going to jump into the last couple of reasons why I like this game before I send you off to play this by yourself. The first thing I'll talk about are the characters. 999 benefits greatly from a shrunken down cast. Everybody in this story has an important job to play, and each of these weirdos has enough going on to where you'll eventually latch onto one. My two favorite, besides the protagonist, are Snake, who can somehow be funny and the calmest person under pressure in the whole group, while also being the most threatening when push comes to shove, and June, who's in my pantheon of all-time great video game girls. In a lesser game, June will be the stereotypical ditzy girl that exists solely to be cute and encourage the player. But instead, within the first hour of meeting her, she will start just completely lore dumping on you about the curse of an ancient mummy, and she will keep this up the entire game. The second thing, directly linking to the last one, is how unabashedly weird this game can be. In my head, I have this scale from normal to absurd that I typically like to rank visual novels on. On the left, you have games that are more grounded in reality, like Valhalla Bartender, Disco Elysium, and early Phoenix Wright. On the right, you have latter Phoenix Wright in the Danganronpa series, which, if I had to explain it to my dad, would probably make his head explode. But here's where I have Zero Escape as a series. I don't even have anything more to say. It's just a wild ride. If you've played any of these games you see before and have liked them, just give it a go. You're not going to regret it. So this was the first episode of what I hope to be a new series where I just mostly spoiler-free review games that I like. I'm just trying to keep writing about games and then keep my video editing skills somewhat intact. So, I don't know, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that at least one person chooses to play through the Zero Escape series because of this. If you are a fan of this game, feel free to write in the comments about how I'm wrong and the reasons why you like this game are completely different.